Reggie, you break down the words, it's just quarterbacking for me?
Yeah, listen, it's not just quarterbacking because have you seen Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, how they approach each game? That does not, to me, does not say that it's just quarterbacking. You have to be able to lead men. You're in a position of, you're the face of the franchise. So when things go wrong, people blame you. When things go right, people are looking to you. So it's not just quarterbacking because when they cut your favorite receiver for Joe Blow and you have an issue with that, how are you going to be able to mesh with the next guys that they bring in? So it's bigger than just quarterbacking. You have to be able to work well with everybody on that football team, not just the offense, coaches, players, staff, everybody. So to me, these words when he says it's just quarterbacking, this kind of bothers me, and this is a part of Josh Rosen that kind of makes you feel like, okay, does he feel a little entitled or is he all in? And those are questions that only he can answer. We'll find out. And he's going to get humbled very quickly. That's what I do know about this league.
That's the impression, Kay, that I got. It was almost like, look, we're not doing rocket science here. We're playing quarterback in the NFL. And teams don't want to hear that. Owners don't want to hear that. No one wants to hear that.
I don't want to hear that, yeah.
No one wants to hear that. You want to think that this is rocket science. This is the hardest thing in the world because it is. He takes that dedication. I said it earlier in the show. I'll say it again. Him saying it for an ESPN profile when he's not on a team and he's a quarterback prospect, that to me, it doesn't really move the radar. Yeah. It's if he puts on a Browns hat or he puts on a Jets hat or puts on a Giants hat here in New York with someone else starting at the time and says, I'm going to win 6 titles. Yeah. I'm going to win 7 titles. Then you're representing the team. Yeah. That to me. So what are the quotes we're going to get? I mean, this thing could have been a puff piece, could have been whatever you wanted. It was for the brand, they pitched it, they got it, it's a cover of ESPN.
But if he's so, I would like him to just simmer down with the brand and the clapping back on Twitter and the saying it's just quarterbacking. Like, we know you're intelligent, so play the game a little bit and zip it for right now.
Yeah. That's not his brand. He's the guy who showed up at the combine and said, I'm not going to be a shell of myself. And what I bring to the table is the real deal. And if someone doesn't want me, then I don't want them. He's never going to do that.
I don't know. That said, I don't have a problem with him saying any of these things. I think if your goal isn't to be better than Tom Brady and win 7 titles, what are you even doing here? And it's very. Last year we had a similar quarterback say the exact same thing. To flip it back to last year.
I want to know, what do we got to look forward to from Deshaun Watson in the league?
I'm blessed to stay healthy and play for a while, man. I'm chasing the GOAT. I'm chasing Tom. I'm going 6. That's the big thing. I know it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. And I gotta have the right situation, have some luck on the way. But that's what I'm chasing.
I feel like he's saying the exact same thing. He wants to be Tom Brady. He wants to be better than Tom Brady. But we revere Deshaun Watson. We look at him as an inspiring young man who came and lit the league on fire before his injury, and will do it again. This was not a storyline. It is for this, which is why I think there is a lot of bias against Rosen for being an entitled rich kid, and I'm not here for it.
Well, I think you can just look at Deshaun Watson's last season and ask him if he can look back at those comments, how he feels now about having gone through that ACL surgery. And listen, he had a lot of success, but the road is tough. And there's just things that you can't predict, like injuries, right? Or let's say you get a coach that you don't work well with together, and then you have to spend 2 or 3 years with that guy, and then that's another couple years under your belt. So there's a lot of things that you can't control. And listen, Josh Rosen and these quarterbacks, they haven't had to play against the #1 defense in Jacksonville where they contest literally every pass and get turnovers and sacks from Khalil Mack and Ndamukong Suh and
all the
Von Miller.
Are going to do that. Like, everyone's going to be humbled.
You mentioned this rich kid thing, and that's like the elephant in the room. So he comes from great wealth. And I think there is a stigma about him that maybe he doesn't need football. He doesn't love football. It's not his life or death. It's not for his generational wealth. So his quote here is, my family isn't stupid wealthy, but I'm coming from a place where if football doesn't work out, I don't have to work at McDonald's. Tons of players needed this game, needed the money, played it out of obligation, and they burned out. I don't need this game. And still, I give everything to it, which is an interesting thing. He doesn't need to play football. He could be doing whatever else.
But there are questions about how much he gives to it.
And this is the pre-draft process that makes my head spin. You play that Deshaun Watson clip?
Yeah.
He says it with a smile, and he's cool, and he feels nice.
Ate it up.
And then Josh Rosen says the same thing, and he's just sort of cocky about it. And we're splitting so many hairs in the minutia of, well, they both said the same thing, but he said it different in the room. Get out of here. I mean, I know we're in the dog days of pre-draft, but we are splitting every hair so hard. I don't want a guy who says, maybe I'll reach the title game once in my career. I hope to reach the playoffs. A wild card would be great. I want to win 10 Super Bowls. Draft me. Yay.
I know we hate the splitting of hairs, but it's so important.
It's what we do.
But it shows how important these moves are and these decisions that are being made, these trades that are going to be made on draft night in Dallas, like the ones made with Patrick Mahomes last year to trade up and get him. And now, boom, it's his gig in the AFC West in Kansas City.